Welcome to BNOW for Tuesday. We are the May 17th, and I'm Don McLeod, and joining me is Fazelle Khan.
Hi, Don.
How's it going, Fazelle?
Very good, Don. Thanks for introducing me. You normally forget about me until halfway into the show.
You know what? Every now and then I remember you there. The good thing is, we don't have any videos of the cherry blossoms because they're all off, right? They're done.
But we have the dandelions. I could have done
the dandelions. Yeah, my lawn is infiltrated with them. The other thing is, I heard a joke on Twitter the other day, and it was like Ontario is the only place where the leaves fall in the springtime.
I get it.
You got it. If you're a Leaf fan, you're right now you're gritting your teeth. Anyway, we got a bunch of stuff we're going to go rapid fire on, and I'm going to lead off with. What am I leading off with? Oh, yeah. The barn
so we have a new format, right, Don? So here's the format, everybody. We're calling it rapid fire. So Don has 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I have four
things. Four things he wants to talk about today, but we're giving him 2 minutes for each one. And I'm going to be off screen while he talks about it. And when I pop back in, he's got to be done. Are you ready, Don?
I'm ready. Anytime you want to go.
Go.
All right. Well, the Barndoogle. Now, we have the missing reports. I sent the CAO, the new CAO, Paul Morrison, an email 2 weeks ago about 2 reports that were missing. One report on the barn was done by a consultant, and it was an engineering consultant firm. And they were asking, or the city staff asked, for the condition of this barn. And basically what my understanding is, that report was supposed to be submitted to council before council ever made a decision on how much money was going to be allocated to this barn. That report hasn't been. And from what I understand, that report is very negative, saying only 20% of those beams are worthy. And in that report, from what I understand, they're talking about buying another barn because this barn is not worthy of actually putting up. So that report is missing. The second report is a whole bunch of different questions on the Friends of Beauvert house and the allocation and the funds and so on and so forth. So there's 2 missing reports. I'm still waiting for the CEO to get back to me on that. Here's the big thing that a lot of people talk about. Well, the volunteers, they don't get paid. We're not talking about the volunteers. We're talking about taxpayer money used for this $1 million. The people who actually bought it, the Friends of Beauvert, they gathered money. They bought it for $20,000. They stored it basically at the Sandalwood Parkway facility for free for years and years and years until everything rotted. And now Jeff Bowman put this request in for $1 million before the report came through and before the other report on the barn was actually presented to council. He rushed it through. Now, all the other things before didn't go through the capital budgeting. Okay? We're done on that. We're going to get back to it later. Okay? If I have time, I'm still coming back.
You did pretty good, though. You did pretty good.
All right. So there's still more questions on that one. The next one up is $1.7 million for a 75-meter catwalk. I've been hearing about this on council meetings for the last month or so, and Pat Fortini and Charmaine Williams have been proposing this because apparently there's a sound wall around Torbram and on Queen, and the people in that area, they have to walk all the way around, and they want a catwalk, so it's easier to get from Torbram to Queen. Now, my understanding is, and last week it was budgeted $1.7 million for a 75-meter catwalk. Well, they went in camera because I guess some of this is, they have to allocate from money and all this kind of stuff. But I think there's a property involved they have to buy. Nobody knows, but all they know is they allocated $1.7 million for a catwalk. It works out to $23,000 a foot on this catwalk, right? And there's not much to go on other than that. So it's going from apparently somewhere from Torbram to get to Queen, so people can get to Queen easier on a sound wall. How many sound walls are there in Brampton? And is this going to pan out for every sound wall? Everyone wants a catwalk to get over it, right? So that's still up in the air. I'm trying to find out a little bit more on that one.
Not bad, not bad. Next topic. Here we go.
Okay, next one. Oh, council legal bills. Apparently, yeah, last council meeting, I heard that Martin Medeiros was asking the city solicitor to talk about paying Pat Fortini's legal bills. There was no other indication or no other details on what these legal bills were. if they were personal legal bills, if they were legal bills connected somehow with city business, or how much they were, right? So that's still up in the air. That's something that I'm going to keep following, because I understand legal bills. If you're working for the city, if you're a city councilor and there's something involved that you had no control over, okay, I can see. But this is tax dollars paying for legal bills of a councilor, and we don't know what those legal bills are. That's another thing that we have to keep an eye on.
Oh, wow. You finished before me.
Well, I'm getting better.
Okay, so you're on your last one. Maybe we should slow things down a bit. If
That's
anybody
okay.
wants to give us feedback, if we're going too fast, let us know.
Okay.
Here we go. Last one. Go ahead.
All right. So tomorrow in council, I looked at the agenda. It's posted every Friday afternoon at the end of the day, so you can go in and see what's on the agenda. There's an Ontario Ombudsman report coming back in September. A Deloitte report was asked for in regards to, there was whistleblower allegations and the CEO was involved, and somebody said, oh, there wasn't fair practices. So basically the city hired a third party, Deloitte, to come in and do a full audit on any wrongdoings or hiring practices and so on and so forth. Well, council gave them 30 days. And then Deloitte said they needed more time. And then at a particular time frame, the city said, or city, not city staff, but the councilors said, you know what, forget it. This is all the time you have. You're done. Well, they submitted that saying to the ombudsman, hey, listen, we don't like the report that Deloitte gave us, because I guess the bottom line was Deloitte couldn't find anything, because a whole bunch of different things in the report states 6 scheduled interviews were not conducted due to time constraints. Some individuals declined or were unresponsive to interview requests, and certain cell phone data was not accessible. So they're concerned about the quality and the conclusion, but they didn't give Deloitte time to do it. So basically, they referred this to the Ombudsman report after paying tax dollars for a third-party Deloitte to come in and do an investigation. They sent it to the Ombudsman of Ontario saying they're not happy with the results. The Ontario Ombudsman came back with this report, and they said, basically, you know what, guys? You don't know what you're doing. You should have given Deloitte more time. You should have been more specific with the requests, and you weren't. And as a result, they're not conducting further review of this matter. So basically, you took up the Ombudsman time, you paid Deloitte to do an audit, and you didn't let them finish the audit properly. And then you had people in the city basically not being responsive to what Deloitte was asking for. To me, it's a total waste of money. Some councilors say, well, look, there's a transparency, that we're being transparent. Yeah, it's taxpayers' money when you're calling in a third-party audit for Deloitte and it's not cheap, and then deciding to cut it short and then referring it to another ombudsman, the Ontario Ombudsman, like he's got nothing better to do. So that report is at the city website. You can go and check it out for yourself.
Wow, Don, you are exactly on time. 2 minutes for each topic, which is what we allotted. However, Karen said she didn't have much time to respond. So maybe we should just kind of quickly go through the 4 things you covered today. The barn Dougal, the $1 million barn, the $1.7 million 75-meter catwalk. Councillors want their legal bills paid, and the Deloitte report, which, how much did that cost? Like $600,000?
Yeah, it was something like that. And it wasn't even completed before they canceled it. So it's like, if you're going to have a report, get the report. You're going to pay $600,000 or $700,000 and then cancel it. What's the point of doing the report in the first place?
Okay, so Karen, if you're watching still, we've given you lots of time to mull things over, and we're not moving forward until you ask a question. Let's wait.
You got one catwalk to where?
That was before. Before.
Well, the catwalk, I said, basically from people want to get from Brampton to Queen, right?
Yeah, the pressure.
Oh, the pressure, right?
That's okay. I think Don did a pretty good job of covering all the issues. There's no questions really, other than what you got to question some of these.
Yeah,
decisions.
The question is why, right? There's always a question, right? Why are we spending money? Why are we doing this? In regards to the house, the $1 million barn, the thing is, a lot of those costs, including the Pendergast cabin, they were taken out of reserves. They weren't line items in the budget. And you know, and I know, we go through the budget process. Whenever there's a budget process, we go over and I take a look, see what the city is spending on. If it's taken out of reserves, it's not in the budget binder. You can't see it, and you don't know where that money is going. That's a deliberate attempt to hide it from the public. And here's the thing. I remember when CEO Harry Schlang, remember he tried to sneak through the budget process, $200,000 in artwork that he wanted to decorate that new connection between the old and new city hall. That was in the budget, in the capital budget, so that we could see that.
What is wrong with artwork, Don? There's nothing wrong with artwork.
What work?
Artwork.
Artwork, yeah. 200,000 so that the city staff could be entertained with artwork. The other one was they wanted to have a gym at City Hall, and it was going to cost, what was it, $300,000-$400,000. They wanted to have a gym for city staff. Meanwhile, the YMCA is just down the road. Both of those items, because they were on the budget line items, and everyone could see it, the Brampton Board of Trade saw it. There was all sorts of different groups saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. They were taken out of the budget.
Okay,
That's
so
why budget's
so Karen came up with a well thought out. She must have taken hours to come up with this question, but she has it for you. Why are they so good at wasting our money?
Well, because we don't keep an eye on it, right? That's the whole thing, And one of the reasons we started what we're doing years ago under Brampton Focus was because there's no real media, there's no television stations. Councillors can get away with whatever they want because basically there's nobody to question it, right? It's like if you're like a small little town and nobody questions anything, you can get away with murder, right?
And then we do have ethnic media who their reach isn't as great, I guess, within certain communities. But there's no media that covers everybody. And then there have been some startups. What do you think about those startups, Don? I'm not going to name names.
Well, some of them are, online blogs and stuff like that. That basically are like, they love to do hit jobs, on certain councillors. And it's like you have someone there that doesn't even live in Brampton, doesn't know the issues, yet loves to comment about this, that, and the next thing, right? So, and then you have Facebook where you have a whole bunch of trolls and everything else that don't get the facts right, and they have an axe to grind one way or the other. These are facts. If you find anything wrong with what I'm saying, you can. Like we've had an open thing for 6 or 7 years for councillors to come on and talk to us, right? Including Jeff Bowman. He wants to come on and talk to me about the $1 million for, hey, Jeff, come on. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about why the line items aren't there. We'll talk about why they're charging City Hall for bank statements. We'll talk about a lot of things. I have no problem with that.
Okay, but we are now behind schedule. So
all right.
We did the rapid fire, and now we're doing something called outside the bubble, which is outside Brampton. And so the first one is street racing and modified exhaust. So you might be thinking, how is this outside Brampton? Well, let's show you a video that Councillor Santos and Councillor Vicente created. Well, I actually created the video. I think everybody knows my style, but I have some behind the scenes information about this video. So you're going to want to hear what I have to say after you watch it. So here we go.
I'm Rowena Santos.
And I'm Paul Vicente.
We are your counselors in Wards 1 and 5.
Loud cars speeding down our roads isn't something we want to see anywhere in Brampton. And as the weather gets nicer, it might be tempting for some drivers to use our roads as a racetrack.
This is your warning. Peel Police has initiated Project Erase and Project Noisemaker to ensure we can all enjoy safer and quieter roads. If you've modified your exhaust or think speed limits don't apply to you, think again. And for law-abiding motorists, please use the Road Watch portal to file your complaints.
Visit br15.ca.
So you heard what they had to say. So that, it's a pretty standard message. They're just announcing a couple programs by Peel Police. Erase to stop, eradicate, racing, something.
Street racing, yeah.
And then Noisemaker, which is, who hasn't heard loud modified cars running down their streets. So apparently this video has gone viral. I think there's, in the last few days, 100,000 people have watched it. 65% of that is coming from the United States. And it looks like it, typically a viral video goes like 2-3 days. This one looks like it's sustaining. So we'll see tomorrow. I love watching these videos to see how they go. And so the issue is a lot of these car enthusiasts are calling out these two councillors. They're actually sending them very nasty messages that we can't even show here. But this is what being a councillor means, right? You think you're doing a good job, and then you're always going to get critics, regardless, right?
Well, it's funny because, like last week we talked about, Project Erase, and we said, like now is it the spring is here, the cherry blossoms are falling, and the street racing begins in Brampton. Right. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, you were telling me that most of these comments are coming from Ohio and this and that. You're not going to take my car away, and like all this street racing stuff. And it was like, yes, the background noise was loud because I think there was movers in the background when he was shooting the video.
Well, it was a bit intentional too, right? You can't do it in a quiet office space. You got to do it outside. I was hoping to hear some car come by, but that didn't happen. Yeah,
it's kind of funny though that all the comments coming after Paul saying, like, yeah, you're not taking away my car, you're not taking my modification. It's like, I wonder if they know he's in Brampton, right? You're getting stuff from Ohio and everything else. It's hilarious, right?
Well, and I think comments were turned off on him, but he's still getting direct messages from what I understand. Okay, so the next one, right. The provincial debate.
Yeah, did you watch it last night at all?
It's painful to watch these debates because to me the outcome is already known. But I think it's hard to say who's a winner. But Mike Schreiner always impresses me. I know he impresses you too.
Yeah. Well, we had Mike Schreiner on when we were doing the Brampton Focus in the studio. We had him on when he was actually running in Guelph the first time to get a seat at the provincial legislature. And we were impressed with him on and off the camera. He's very succinct. His style hasn't changed. He's very good. And we said to him, we said, you're in the wrong party because, no, we did. I mean, we told him that, right? I remember in the studio saying, you should be leading up the Liberal Party. It's like they need a leader like you. But, he's in the Green Party. The only thing is that I don't see, and, he's good. He knows what he's doing. I love talking to Mike because he's very passionate about the Green Party. I don't know who the Green candidates are in Brampton. I have no idea. I haven't seen or heard of them. And these candidates, if Mike wants to get out and get more seats at the provincial legislature, Mike, you got to get some people out there that are Green enthusiasts and ready to campaign a year ahead of time.
Well, not even a year ahead of time. After this election, you got to get somebody that's going to work on the grounds for the next 4 years until the next election. You can't wait till 30 days out and then somebody just puts their name in just so they can say they're a provincial candidate. They're not going to win. Yeah,
and it's like, I don't understand if you're that passionate. The riding association for the Green Party in Brampton, there's like 5 of them. They should be starting and like what? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. If you've got somebody passionate, about the Green Party, and you drive an electric vehicle and you hate gas powered leaf blowers.
Are you saying I should run for the Green Party, Don?
Well, didn't you tell me at one time that you were thinking of running for the Green Party?
Yeah, but there's no way you're going to win.
Exactly, but that's the whole point. You're not going to win because there's no background. The riding associations don't do anything. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. It's baffling to me.
Well, they also don't have the resources, but at the same time, the Liberals and the NDPs have done a terrible job too, right? Their candidates come on. Well, they might be announced earlier, but you never see them. And, now they're trying to join our Facebook groups and stuff. It's too late, right?
Well, take a look, okay? Harinder Malley was the last Liberal in power, right, in the riding. For 4 years, she's been like nothing. Now she's running again.
And, right? There's a chance she will win because
she's Liberal and the name, and everything else. But
and the NDP candidate is now gone, and the Conservative candidate, I think it's between those two, right?
Yeah, but where have you been for 4 years? You just can't disappear and expect put the banner up. That's why.
Well, you know what? But they can disappear and come back. So
yeah, I know, but that's the problem. That's why. Yeah. Somebody asked me why aren't we doing interviews with the candidates, across Brampton, and I told them because you know what? It's a useless process, especially when it comes to federal and provincial, because all you're going to hear is regurgitating points, and I see it now from every PC. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. What are you going to get done for Brampton? What? Tell me specifics.
Did you watch the Brampton Board of Trade debate this morning?
No.
Okay. Neither did I.
No.
Maybe they said something interesting.
Yeah, maybe they didn't.
Yeah. Okay, next topic. And I don't think I'm qualified to talk on this topic. You are highly qualified.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Okay, the CPC. Yeah, I noticed Patrick Brown. He posted something, and he asked for Pierre Poilievre to, basically come against the what is it? It's race replacement theory. It's not white replacement. Well, it's kind of right. It's race replacement theory. And he asked Patrick Poilievre to, basically condemn it, right? So, obviously, 2 days later, Pierre comes out and says, "Yes, I totally condemn it." But he's meeting with like truckers and people who actually condone this stupid race replacement.
Well, but let's not say truckers, Don, because it's a subset of people.
Well, during the trucker thing, they had people in that trucker in Ottawa that were expounding this race replacement theory. Pat King was one of them. He keeps putting out videos and talking about how the white race is going to be replaced. It's something that a book was written about in 2001. I think Richard Camus wrote it about Islamic coming into France and taking over France, and the French people would be pushed out of France. I mean, it's an idiotic idea, and it just goes to show you something like that can spread, and it can spread easily to mainstream media, because Tucker Carlson on Fox News, he's got his own ideas that sort of correspond to, he doesn't call it race replacement theory. What he does is he says, well, what we're doing is we're bringing in different immigrants that are not white, and then they're making them vote, Democratic rather than Republican. And that way they're going to actually overthrow the Republican Party because they're Democrats. Something like people would say the Liberals are bringing in all these immigrants, and they vote Liberal because the Liberal Party brings them in.
Ivan's, what is that? Is that a
Is that money?
Rolling something? I don't know what that is, Ivan.
Dough. But yeah, it's stupid. And, for Patrick to call him out, not really call him out, but say, you know what, what's your stance on this? I'd love to see a lot more people come out, because this kind of thing, it can become mainstream very, very quickly, because you got a whole bunch of Looney Tunes that believe this stuff, right?
Okay, as I said, you are highly qualified on that. I am not, as you can see, like that guy. Okay, last topic for today. We're doing pretty good on time. Is jobs for high school students. So I also volunteer on another nonprofit called ACER, the Association of Canadian Educational Resources. So they do a lot of environmental work in Peel region, specifically planting trees, but also monitoring trees and tree growth. So we have some students that are developing an app to make that a little bit easier. And we also need students this summer through the Canada Summer Jobs Program. So we've got students across Peel region. I think 30 high school students, 8 weeks, 35 hours a week, $15 an hour. So it's in the neighborhood of $4,000, spending time outdoors, learning about the environment, and helping collect data. So those jobs are available. If you know a high school student, and I know there are thousands of them in Brampton and Mississauga, please have them send their LinkedIn profile to Don. Let's put your name back up there. Oh, where's your email, Don?
You have it. Don@citystudio.ca.
There we go. Don at City Studio. So have them send their LinkedIn profile. And most high school students don't have LinkedIn profiles. So this is a good time to create one. Those jobs aren't going to start till the end of June, maybe early July. So they have some time, but we're going to try to fill it from now. And whatever gets filled, gets filled. So you don't want to wait till the last minute. And we may have 1 or 2 university student spots left with Brampton Focus. We're waiting to hear back from students we've given offers to. So if they decline because they got another job or whatever, 1 or 2 spots may still open.
Now, one of the students that we did get, we had a repeat student from last year, but I think you posted on our page that he got a scholarship to Western University.
Yeah, $50,000 scholarship, entrance scholarship. I forget the name of the program. So I'm sure he put his experience here at Brampton Focus, and we were doing a lot of things last summer. We got the SHOT initiative and the Small Biz Hub. So students have the opportunity to go as far as they want in their internship. We kind of look at their skills, what they want to do, and match them up with something that's interesting. The goal really is to give them the experience, not for us to figure out how to, get them to flip burgers. And so that
that would be a good job for them. Maybe every weekend to come over to my place and actually,
go mow your grass and stuff.
Cooking and grass cutting would be good. Yes.
That's wrong, Donnie. We can't do that. Okay.
All right. So listen, next week, the 24th, we have Ruby Sahota coming on. Ruby Sahota is going to talk to us about the federal government investment in Stellantis, which is the old Chrysler plant. Basically, they changed their name in Brampton. How much of that federal money is coming through? We're going to talk to her a little bit about the Canada Summer Jobs Program, because every year, like, she's been a big supporter of Canada's Summer Jobs Program with Brampton Focus since we actually started. So she's been very supportive, like all the Liberal ridings have over the last 4 to 8 years, I think it was total. So, we're going to talk to her about that and just, basically talk to her about the Summer Jobs Program, how big it is, who can actually apply, how do they make the criteria, profit, nonprofit, just, delve down. So any organization out there who wants to go forward and hasn't applied, maybe take a look at it, and it's something that you can do.
Yeah, and it is too late for this summer, but you need to start planning because I think the application opens up as early as January, and there's the process to get access to the online system that might take you a few weeks to do that as well. Like, we hire a lot of students, and we're a really small organization, and I see a lot of big nonprofits and for-profit companies that are not hiring anywhere near, like even Peel Police in the city of Brampton. I'm not sure they're hiring the same amount of students that Brampton Focus is, right? So there's the capacity to do a lot more.
Yeah, there's a difference between hiring them as a nonprofit, hiring them as a company, right? There's two different things. There's two different pay scales and so on and so forth, and how much is paid going forward. But it's a good program. I think it's advantageous. A lot of our students, we're going to try and get one on that basically is working for the Vancouver Canucks now, and he has been an intern with Brampton Focus. What, 3-4 years? Was it 3-4 years for us?
I did the math. I think it might be 6, might even be from the very beginning, which is 7 years.
Okay, so he's been with us quite a while, and on his resume when he sent it to he mentioned us and what we're doing, and his qualifications. So it's interesting to see where they go and what happens to them, and how we can actually impart some of our stuff to them. So it is a good program. I think for students, it's something that it's better than, you said, flipping burgers, but not everyone can qualify, and not everyone can do it. But we'll discuss that with Ruby next week. So in the meantime, have a great week. It's supposed to be a little bit sunnier and warmer over the course of the next 5 or 6 days, and I guess we'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay, see you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.